Enterprise, this is Captain William Riker of the Klingon vessel Pach. I order you to lower your shields and surrender.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fully Functional, a TNG podcast. I'm Maggie, joined by Jeff and Dory.
Yo.
Jeff and I are huge Star Trek nerds, Dory's a Star Trek novice, and we're taking her on a journey through Star Trek The Next Generation. Today we'll be talking about the Season 2 episode, A Matter of Honor. Original air date February 4th, 1989. And we'll go to Dory for the recap.
Okay, so... Sorry, this made me laugh because I really went in the wrong direction of my prediction.
That's what we wanted.
Man, I truly forgot about the fact of the exchange part. Anyways, okay, so there's an officer or just...
Officer.
There's an exchange program where people from different ships can go hang out at other ships to learn how shit is done. So we get this guy, Mendon, who Wesley mistakes for Murdoch, and I got excited too because I was like, Murdoch.
Fun fact, it's actually played by the same actor, which makes Wesley mistaking him doubly funny.
Mistakening?
Well, I think they he says how do you tell the difference? And he's like, we just do, because they all look alike.
That's a little racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been really nice to get Murdoch back though. He was great. Oh my God, this blew my freaking mind. Okay, so then Riker goes to see Picard at the phaser range. Oh my God, it was so cool. It was so cool. It looks like it's basically, I guess, laser tag if you just stand in a circle.
Yeah.
It's laser tag, except you're not actually lasering against someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet. They had some great facial expressions and moves and poses to shoot shit. I don't know. It was really fun.
I called it phaser foo when I was describing it to Maggie.
I do love learning different, we still haven't learned everything about the ship, so it was neat seeing a whole other thing that I didn't know about.
Mm-hmm. We get to see another room.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see that mall, but...
Which is a big black void.
Yeah. One day I'll get to see that mall.
Oh no, the phaser range, the laser tag place is in the mall.
There we go.
We'll just say it's in the mall.
It's in the complex. Oh my God, yeah, because they do have laser tags sometimes in mall. Ooh. Wonder what stores are there. Anyways. So Picard tells Riker that there's a Klingon vessel nearby and it'd be cool if somebody got to do the exchange there. And Riker was like, ooh, I'll do it. Cause I wrote he wants to go where no one has gone before. A Klingon ship. I guess human or whatever. I don't know. But he's super psyched. It's very adorable. And we learn, so I guess he has some Klingon food, and it's quite a feast. Mm-hmm. And then he speaks with Worf, I guess, for some prep. And we learn that assassination is super common in command, which is interesting. And yeah, so they get to the ship. Oh yeah, Picard calls Riker Mr. Riker at one point. I was like, whoa. Calls him by his name. It's wild. Okay, so he gets on the ship. We meet Captain Kargan. It seems to be okay when he meets the captain, but then the second officer, he does not like Riker initially, and he is I don't trust him. He's not here for the right reasons. It's what the fuck. And so Riker, I guess, to assert his first officerness, he flips this guy and kicks his ass.
Yeah.
Right there in the bridge. Also, the worst lit bridge I've ever seen. This ship needs to figure out their lighting situation. It is so dim. Yeah, not a fan.
That's the way they like it, apparently. Klingon ships.
Yeah. So the second officer is Clag. And so I guess that like impresses him, and him and Riker are like friends now. So they're in the cafeteria getting to like know each other. We learn, I think it's Clag, I don't know, they're all hanging out eating some food, and we learn Clag's got some like daddy issues. And then there's like a couple of lady Klingons making eyes at Riker, and I was like, oh, it's gonna happen. It doesn't. I was wrong.
Yeah.
It was wrong. I mean, one of them was like really into him, but nothing happened, which is, I don't want to say unfortunate. I don't know. I just thought it was going to happen. It did not. So yeah, Riker was having a nice time. Meanwhile, back on the Enterprise, Mendon is like scanning shit and finds there's like some substance on the ship, and is like, oh, we need to like he's trying to figure out what it is. But then like Worf notices it, and they're like, hey, there's like a chain of command, but Mendon doesn't really, it's not how they do things, so he doesn't like stick with the command, because even after they're like, hey, if something's going on, you got to tell Worf first, he still just like doesn't go to Worf and just skips right over to Picard every time. So yeah, that worked out well. So he also got scolded, like, why didn't you tell anybody? And he's like, we're still working on it. And as it turns out, the same substance is also on the Klingon ship, and they notice it also, but it's like, I guess, more damage because there's a hole. And oh yeah, so like the Klingon captain thinks that, oh, like this is on purpose. The Enterprise was trying to like attack us, or they did it. So we need to go into like stealth mode and like attack them. And Riker's like, what? No, that doesn't make sense, because I'm here. Why would they attack or do anything to harm the ship? I'm on here, and like we're here to be friends. But the captain is like getting real no patience, and just is like, get ready to attack, and like yelling at Riker about his loyalty. And man, the Klingons really love to die in battle.
Yep.
Because that's like mentioned so many times in
Yep.
this. So they figure out how to fix the like hole in the substance stuff on like the Enterprise. So they're both trying to like intercept each other for different reasons. But then Riker remembers his little like transponder thing that Worf gave him at the beginning, and gives it to Kargan, the captain, to like press. So he gets like transported to the Enterprise, and everybody's like, what? And then Riker goes, I'm the captain now. I was like, that's real, some Captain Phillips vibe right there. And so he like commands them to like uncloak or whatever, and have the Enterprise surrender, and everything's great. And like Clark is Clag, like flag, but Clag. He's like a friend, and Riker learns so much about the Klingons, and he's happy to be back. Well, Picard is happy to have him back with the Enterprise. The end. Yeah, a lot happens in this episode.
Yes, quite accurate.
This is probably my favorite Riker episode.
Yeah, I like this episode a lot.
That being said, still learned nothing about Riker.
Well, we learned that he's very adaptable.
No, yeah, but like we now know that like Clag has daddy issues. Does Riker have daddy issues? What is his family? I don't know.
You will get to find out.
Yeah, you actually will.
Good, because I want to know. But yeah, I think that, yeah, it was an enjoyable episode. I loved the cafeteria scene. Was really great.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jonathan Frakes and the director Rob Bowman were also both really excited to do this episode, and apparently they described their time shooting it as giving each other high fives after shooting every scene. Yeah.
Well, I love how, like, because Riker just kind of immediately is able to pick up on the tone of things. Like, he kind of immediately picks up just the social cues from the Klingons, like how they behave with each other. Because, like, it's all about aggression and that kind of thing, which is why he punches out the dude to assert his authority.
Yeah, there's a lot of posturing in Klingon, and They spent a good. Well, this is actually the first time that we're seeing all of that too in like any of Star Trek, because we haven't seen a movie where we're getting more than like Klingons as antagonists before. So
Yeah.
this is really Trek's first real deal at like dealing with the Klingons on a cultural level.
Yeah, like really getting to know them more. And you can see that it's still like an uneasy alliance.
Yeah.
Given like how quickly what was his name? Kargan?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
Kargan.
Yeah,
the
how quickly he is to assume that the Enterprise is attacking them, like on purpose with the bacteria shit that's eating their ship.
He also kind of just seems like a moron, so there's that.
Yeah, like it's the rest of the crew, or at least the second officer, doesn't seem to jump to conclusions
Yeah.
that much.
Well, I mean, yeah, once he gets freaking character development. Clag gets the character at the beginning.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't trust him. I don't believe him. And then he's like, hey, Captain,
About
Riker is not a coward. This doesn't seem quite right. So yeah, good job, Clag.
Yeah, he's introduced
Yeah.
to a concept and gets to change his mind. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really nice that we got to see Klingons as more sympathetic and more like, yeah, they all have like a certain mindset of like, you know, dying in battle is honorable, which is fine.
It's still a little two-dimensional, yes, but
I mean, you do you, but like, I do like that they definitely, there is some, I think it was like a bit more sympathetic.
yeah.
Because I think
Yeah.
the other times we were with Klingons were the two guys from the episode, the from season 1 near the end. I can't remember what it's called.
yeah.
Heart of Glory, I believe.
Heart of Glory. Yeah. So they weren't exactly like necessarily the most sympathetic of characters.
Yeah.
And I think this definitely sort of broadened the Klingon experience, if you
Yeah.
will.
You get to learn
Which was
about
great.
them more on a personal level, and like
Yeah.
you know, see them laughing and having fun and shit.
Oh yeah, man, they are loud laughers.
Yeah.
There's a line Clag says, which got like a huge laugh from the group. They're eating the food, and he goes to Riker. If Klingon food is too strong for you, perhaps we could get one of the females to breastfeed you. And then everybody loses it at the cafeteria.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I actually wanted to point out that
boy.
that entire scene is... I still remember it more fondly than I think it actually comes out, but it is my favorite scene in the whole episode.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I think it's really nice how Riker just sort of like I like that his interest seems genuine.
Yeah.
That it's not just like, I'm going over here for lulz. Like, he wanted to go there. He's interested in learning. He went to war first to, you know, tried the foods.
Yeah.
Was trying to do some of the customs prior to going, because he actually does give a shit, and it's not just for show. He
Yes.
genuinely wants to learn, which is, I think, adds a lot to like who Riker is, and which is why I liked him. This is his best episode, in my opinion, of
Yeah.
the show so far. Is you just get to see a lot of dimensions of him.
Yeah, it definitely shows something that he is like, he tries to meet them on their level.
Yes.
He doesn't go in criticizing the way they do things. You know, he doesn't like, even at the end, like the moral of the story isn't like how great Starfleet is compared to Klingons. He's just like, yeah, I learned a lot about their culture and like their mindset and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
very interesting. And then like he tells Worf at the end, like, you come from a very like unique and brave people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool that he like respects, you know, a different culture, one that's very different from his own.
Yeah. Like, also, there's the whole scene with when he was arguing with the captain, and the captain kept saying, like, you have to tell me the secrets of the Enterprise. And he was like, no, I won't do that. And he was like, well, you put an oath to me. And he was like, yeah, but you can still be loyal to that. So, like, Riker was still, I think he said that, like, if I, like, I'm going to die with this, if I die with this ship or something, or I'll die with you guys. I don't remember the exact wording. But the fact that he still, like, was insistent on honoring the oath to the Klingons and not just immediately being like, fuck you, Enterprise rules.
Yeah.
You guys do. He just was like, listen, I'm here. This is where I'm loyal to you because I made the oath and I'm here. But I'm not going to, like, being loyal to one group doesn't mean being disloyal to another group.
Yes.
Yeah. He asks him, like, how to destroy the Enterprise and that kind of thing, and Riker's like, well, I'm not going to betray the secrets of the Enterprise. And he's like, well, you took an oath to me to be loyal to me. And he's like, I am, but I'm also not going to break any oath I took in the past either. Like, I'll fight with you if we end up in a battle with the Enterprise, but I'm not just going to tell you, like, shit that they trusted me with because I took an oath to protect that.
I like that the Klingon captain respects that too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you'll die with us. He's like, I was going to kill you now, but if you told me the secrets, but since you didn't, I'm going to let you die with us in battle. It's like, oh, that's cute, I guess.
So a fun little bit of backstory on that, actually. So what Maurice Hurley said about this afterwards is that he wanted there to be a kind of like reverse spin on the Worf scenario, because Worf is like a fish out of water in Starfleet. And so he wanted to take a character and turn that on them instead. And his idea for it, which I really liked, he noticed that old Star Trek was really, really good with tackling contemporary social issues. And he noticed that the series they had been doing thus far was not really doing that at all. So his thoughts on it were something that he actually talked to Michael Dorn about a little bit. And what he wanted to try to portray, at least from a, like, Starfleet, everyone's a lot better about this perspective, was what it's like to be the only black face in a room of 40 white people. And I was like, yeah, that's a pretty contemporary social issue. All right.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Now, how successful he was at targeting that specifically is a matter of opinion, of course.
Yeah, it really doesn't speak to that issue specifically.
No, I don't think it does either.
Yeah, and I think it's more like, I guess it could, because although if that's the thing, it kind of portrays black people really weird. If you're
Okay, well, he wasn't...
I know. I'm just saying, like, if that's the analogy, comparing black people to the Klingons can have some really problematic implications.
I don't think that's quite the analogy, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to point that out. But, like, again, I don't know if that was, like, the specific analogy they were going for. It seemed less about, like...
I'd say that was the pitch, because Hurley didn't write it in the end.
Yeah. That makes sense. To me, this was... I don't think it did a good job in terms of that, in terms of, like, representing what it's like to be, like, kind of the only one of your ethnicity, or to extend the metaphor, gender, sexuality, blah, 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 in a room of everyone else that's, like, not like you.
Yeah.
But I think it did a really good job of examining cultural exchange. Not examining it, but at least showing a really good example of, like, how you deal with another culture. It's, like, not to impose your values onto them. It's to, like, get to know their values.
Right.
And exchange it. Like Riker... He's telling the dude that he should go see his dad, even though his he doesn't want to see his father, but he's not imposing. I don't see it as him, like, imposing Starfleet values. It's just more of, like, more cultural exchange. It's like, well, why don't you, like, he's still your dad. I mean, I know he's this is a really unfortunate situation that he's in. I don't know, like, it's not his fault, man.
Yeah.
but it at least to me, it didn't seem preachy. as in like we would never ignore our fathers because of something stupid like honor and shit like that. It's like meeting them more halfway.
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny when you said that it's not his fault. It's just like, it's not his fault the Romulans didn't kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, it's literally true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels like it was like there wasn't criticism. It was more just like, not even like, oh, hey, Starfleet shit, just like personal, like, hey, maybe like a suggestion. Maybe you want to reach out to your dad.
I mean, what I like about that entire scene in the dinner hall is that everybody is on the same side in that scene, even though they're all like kind of teasing one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which leads into that moment really naturally. And the only thing that I didn't like about that particular moment was when the guy like stood up and like briefly monologued to the camera, and I'm just like, like, okay, we get it, it's your father, but like you don't have to do the Shakespeare thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was a little over dramatic.
Yeah, but I mean, that's Star Trek for you.
Yeah.
Lots of Shakespearean actors, especially among the Klingons.
Yeah. Well, they probably asked him to do that.
Oh yeah, I'm just making a joke.
But yeah, like you, Jeff, I really like the scene where they're all eating together. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, the way that they go about, like, cause it's mean, but it's not mean-spirited, and because Riker takes it in stride, that like strengthens the bond that they're all creating in that moment, because they're like, look, we're gonna make fun of you because, you know, you're the different one here, but if you can roll with the punches, then and see that it's a joke, then, you know, we can all we can respect each other over it still.
So I like the Riker half of it. The other side of this episode, the Mendon side, I don't know what they were trying to say with that.
I don't think they were really trying to say anything, because it doesn't fit in with Starfleet stuff all that well, because they're like going all hard in on the protocol thing. What they were doing with Worf in it was a straight up bad idea.
Yeah.
Because they made him like antagonistic.
Yeah, it was real weird.
I don't know. What'd you think of this glimpse of Worf, Dory?
Honestly, I didn't see him as antagonistic. I just saw him as someone frustrated that this person like was not doing what they were supposed to do. Like, I didn't see Worf at all in any kind of bad light. I just saw him as like, this guy isn't following protocol, and it's not Worf's fault, but he's the one who needs to be like. I just honestly kind of just felt bad that Worf was frustrated because this guy was not following how things should go. But I didn't find Worf to be antagonistic.
Okay, I think the fact that this guy is in a Starfleet uniform is misleading, because he's not Starfleet.
Yeah, I didn't understand why he's in a Starfleet uniform.
Yeah, neither did I, because like I said, he's not Starfleet. So it's important to keep in mind that just like Riker, he's a fish out of water, and rather than like on the Klingon ship where they're helping him along with it, this guy is behaving like differently than what's expected, and from Worf anyway, he's getting like a little bit of mockery for it.
Yeah. I mean, they said that he had like basically like they gave him an orientation.
Yes.
But yeah, the thing is like, I feel like that, like pointing out like you need to immediately report anything weird should have been something that was mentioned.
Yeah,
if
probably.
It wasn't, like, I don't know what they did. Like, they call it an indoctrination ceremony, which
bad choice.
Yeah,
that sounds really sketchy.
Yeah, I know what they mean. Like, they don't mean it in a culty way or like a propaganda way. But
they're trying to teach doctrine, which yes, fair.
Yeah.
But indoctrination was the wrong word choice.
Yeah, that's why I'm calling it orientation.
Fair.
But yeah, Picard says it like sarcastically, but it's like, no, dude, you literally should have explained this shit better to him.
Yes.
Yeah, because this conflict truly doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
No.
it's not necessary. The only thing I can like sort of see why they did it this way is the juxtaposition of like this guy wasn't doing what's supposed to be done on the Enterprise, and Riker was doing what has to be done, or like was following the rules on that ship, and this guy wasn't following on this ship. But it's still like it's to me didn't feel like not competition, but I don't know, it just feels really weak.
Yeah.
That they just have
I
this
agree.
guy, they have Mendon there, and it just doesn't, I don't think it really landed.
The only purpose I see for it is to set up the conflict, because it explains why that he discovered this bacteria that like eats the ship, and he didn't report it, and then the Klingons are like, it explains why the Klingons think the Enterprise sabotaged them, because they never, like, they did an intense scan but never said anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually initially, when we saw that like Mendon found something on the ship, I thought he was going to be like a villain or something, and he was like hiding that, or he was like hiding information, or he like, I don't know, it just because he didn't say anything to anybody and just saw it just kept saying inconclusive. I was like, what is this? Why isn't he doing anything? Is this on purpose? Did he do this? I don't understand. So at first I was like, are they setting him up to like have done something bad?
Mm-hmm.
Which almost would have like not made more sense, but I don't know, would have given some kind of more weight to that side.
Yeah.
It just truly just, I don't know. It was not. Also, like, why would you not bring back Mordok? You just bring that, making another guy like that. Mordok might not know I don't know.
Because then you can't set up the mystery as badly.
Yeah, I guess
Well,
so.
the thing is that the reason it couldn't be Mordok is because Mordok's literally going into Starfleet. And this guy is like not part of Starfleet. He's a part of the thing. And Wesley says it's like it's too early for him to have graduated already. But then why couldn't it have been any other person? Why did they have to have like this weird like
this particular species? Oh, I remember. What was the point of them saying like, okay, yeah, this is sort of the protocol of what you're supposed to do, and then he didn't do it? He still kept going to Picard with his stuff instead of telling Worf. It just, I don't know, what was the point of the setup is that you need to follow protocol, and then he never follows protocol of like speaking the chain of command.
Yeah, that was very weird. And nobody was mad at him for it anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Why make that the start of the issue? But like nobody cares about it. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make sense. Like, they should have either, like, made it so he will then, like, report stuff to Worf, or Worf be like, oh, we need to tell the captain right away. But, like, instead they just keep skipping to go, right? He just really just walks over to Picard and is like, hey, listen, this is my thing. And then Worf's just standing over there. And I'm like, what was the point of this? What was the point? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they just didn't think about it too hard.
They should.
Yeah.
They should. If I have to think about it this hard, they should be thinking about it this hard. This isn't even my job. It's their job. 30 years later, I shouldn't have to think this hard about it. I wasn't even born yet when this episode aired. I wasn't even a thought.
I do like the explanation for why he didn't report it. I thought that was a genuine procedural difference that could possibly exist. Mm-hmm. Like, he said, like, you wouldn't report anything unless you had a completed full analysis and a solution ready.
Yeah.
Which, like, I could totally see being a thing.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. I thought that was a decent reason for it.
Yeah. I just wish they dealt with the other stuff better, because the other stuff seemed more like he was arrogant rather than he just is used to things working differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just didn't work well with that whole side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was more scenes with Riker on the other ship.
Yeah.
Because that was that was much better and more interesting.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Especially since, like, we get to know more about the Klingons. And, like, you know, at this point in time, it's like, for the audience, they're still pretty mysterious.
That is
well.
true.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about Riker's fantastic power move when he took control of the Klingon ship and he hails the Enterprise and
Yes.
he doesn't
Oh,
even
super casual.
smile at Picard. Like, he's just sitting there like, Captain Picard, this is Captain Riker. And he's
Yeah.
just
He's
got
just
this
like-
dead stare like, I'm in charge here, bitch.
Yeah.
Well, he's the captain now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like, honestly, for a second, I was like, before he like transported the captain away, I was like, because they talked about it earlier about having to like kill your captain and first officer or whatever. I wrote in my notes, like, is Riker going to murder the captain? It's like, I hope not.
Yeah.
But at this point, I don't know what to expect with this show. So yeah, that was great. He was also so casual, sitting in that chair, just like lounging.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was. Oh, the one thing that would have made it better is if he did his Riker maneuver over that chair.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how possible that is.
Well, they gave him
Yeah,
these, like, big columns to lean on.
Yeah.
Those, like, big pipes that, like, go, like, diagonally from the ceiling to the floor. He's just always leaning on it.
Did you guys notice that when he got pushed over that thing, there's like a split-second shot of it moving because like he was too heavy for the prop?
No, I didn't notice that.
Didn't. Yeah, I didn't notice it either.
I was pretty amused by that.
I wish I noticed that. I do love those things in like this show where props like shake or move like they're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, remember when they were jumping over that table in a Conspiracy?
Oh, yeah.
Like Riker hits the wall and it moves.
Dory, just wait until we get to the moments of, oh no, all of these rocks have fallen on me, and Data is picking them up like with zero effort because it's Data, when really it's just because they're made out of styrofoam.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'm excited for that.
Oh, there'll be a lot of them.
It was nice that Wesley got to like have a little bit of a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
haven't
haven't
had
seen
much
Wesley
of
much in the last few episodes.
Yeah, since he was promoted to the bridge or just working.
He's basically been less focused on now that he's promoted. He's just there.
Yeah.
He's doing his work. He's not causing mischief.
Though this was an episode that, while it had a bunch of Wesley, it lacked either the Doctor or Geordi.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Or Troy.
Oh, yes.
And Troy.
Yeah, this was a very, like, an episode with a very narrow focus.
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't get a lot of people involved in it.
Not that I had a problem with that. Sometimes that's the better choice.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to have, like, just a concentrated story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, they pulled it off pretty well. I was solidly entertained throughout the entire thing. Even the stuff that I didn't love, I was still entertained by, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same here. I suppose we should probably get into favorite bits, moments, anything you'd like to bring up that we haven't already.
Oh, I like that. Oh my gosh, the hot guy.
Oh, yeah.
my favorite background hot guy actor got lines in this episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah,
did.
2 of them.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, look at him. Look at him. I'm so proud of him. He's like, he got to speak. That's wonderful. Still don't know what his name is. But
I don't think anyone does.
But I'm very proud of him. He got to have some lines. He's going places. Literally and figuratively. I did like Worf says to Mendon, he goes, Ensign Mendon, you may impress me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's after he tells Picard that he wants to impress upon him, like, some suggestions or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of like right at the beginning of the episode that like I made it weird.
Oh.
So it's probably not what the intention was, but I like laughed because of our shipping stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because Picard calls Riker Mr. Riker instead of number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then he calls Riker a fine officer. But in my head, I heard a fine officer.
A fine officer.
He's fine. Yeah, I was like, ha 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 ha. But it's not funny. It's not like a thing. But I just was like, ha ha ha. But yeah, in terms of like favorite parts, I liked the laser tag room, the cafeteria stuff. And okay, this was a good line. I forgot to mention this earlier. In the cafeteria part, after when they're talking about Clag's dad, Clag goes, "A Klingon is his work, not his family." I was like,
Oh, yeah. About that line.
Interesting.
Definitely not a line that they stick to.
Yeah, that changes a bit, but...
Yeah.
Well, it changes more than a bit.
Gasp.
It becomes quite the opposite, but I will not go into detail.
Oh, yeah, and I liked Riker being the captain now.
I'm the captain now. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I literally just pictured that guy in the Captain Phillips movie.
Nice.
It's truly an iconic line, even though this is obviously way before that. Good times.
Is it though?
So my favorite bit was, it's a specific bit from the cafeteria stuff. It's when the Klingon ladies are like ogling him, and the guy's like, they're curious, they're wondering how you'll endure, and Riker's Riker says like, endure what? And the guy replies, them. And then Riker just takes a minute to like look over, and then he goes, one or both.
Yeah, that was great.
I just love that.
Oh yeah, when they said that, I was like, "Is this it? Is it gonna happen?" And no.
Is this the grand Riker orgy?
Yeah. I just thought that
so
like that
wrong.
was such a really good way to answer.
Yeah.
I actually already mentioned it. The moment at the end when he hails the Enterprise and like he doesn't even smile at Picard. He is 100% like sucking in his role and like just radiating it. And I thought that was such an epic power move, and I loved it.
I think Picard appreciated it too.
Yes.
I think he got a bit of a kick out of it.
Yeah.
which
Oh
was
yeah,
really
he
nice.
respected it.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot to say about this episode because we were just busy enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
get a lot of notes for this episode.
To be honest, there isn't too much like depth to this episode,
No.
other than just like getting some more tidbits about Klingon culture.
Yeah,
Stuff
it's
like
fun.
that. And you get like a little peek about like the kind of man that Riker is. But you don't really learn anything more about his story or his history and things like that.
No.
Did make me like him more. He got more points in my book.
Yay.
Finally.
I mean, he's grown. I mean, not that I ever didn't like him, but he's definitely grown on me slower than some of the other characters like Data and Geordi.
That's fair, yeah.
I love those two.
Yeah, they're adorable. With that, though, we should get into predictions for our next episode.
All right, I'm ready.
So, our next episode is called The Measure of a Man. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this episode. Your little tidbit is that Data's humanity gets measured.
Oh. Oh boy. I'll be honest, I don't know how I feel about that because like I like Data. I love Data, he's my favorite, but like how many episodes can we take this season? We're only like a small portion through. And how many episodes can we have about him and his like humanity and whatever like that? Ay vey. Okay. They just weigh him.
I would watch that.
The whole episode is just Data on a scale. As just they ask him questions.
Yep, works for me.
Oh God. Okay, sorry. So measurement. What's the description again?
Data's humanity gets measured.
Huh. Okay. How does one measure humanity? Oh, I wonder if it's like they put him in the. Okay. I've got one. Perhaps he's put in like a situation, not like in the holodeck styles, but like when you remember, of course you remember, we were watching this show together in the coming of age episode when Wesley has like his test of fear, or his like faces his biggest fear, and it's like that simulation.
Oh, his psychology test,
Yeah, I wonder if like Data goes through that in some kind of capacity, because like, I mean, I don't know how you measure someone's humanity, but I suppose it has to do with actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would guess that he's put in a position where it's a scenario of like, what would you do? And it's either like, would you approach something more like emotionally, which is typically what people categorize, I would think, more than like as like human, versus calculating, or more like I said clerical. That's not right. Clinical, which is something that I suppose an android, he's more likely to be like more objective and see things in a very specific way. But maybe they waiting to see how he reacts to something that has more of like a moral. I'm not being very clear about this, but
Yeah.
I think it's also because I'm trying to like really think, how would you evaluate humanity? I don't know.
Okay. Maybe I'll give you a little bit more to work off of. There is a trial involved.
Like a courtroom trial?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I almost want to be like, don't tell me, but also do tell me. Is Q there? No, right?
I mean, you'll have to
tell
see.
ya.
Oh my God. I would die. In both a good way and a bad way. Okay. So, I think that almost makes it harder. Oh God. Okay. A trial. Oh, okay. I do. Okay. Maybe it is, I guess it's a trial to see if Data maybe can be like labeled as not human, but the qualities maybe of being human, and a trial to see like with testimony of like, yes, he's exhibited this kind of behavior and these things. I mean, I don't know what they would need to do it for. I don't like what kind of certification, or they wouldn't just be like, all right, Data, time for your humanity trial. That's weird. I don't know why. Oh God, I have to come up with the why, don't I? Oh, this is hard. Oh God.
Listen,
This is so hard. I think I'm probably thinking this like overthinking it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. All right. I've got something. It's very stupid, but you know what? Q loves to like play mind game. How I just banged my hand on my table. Q loves to play mind games and bullshit and thinks he's righteous with all this shit. So like, okay, my probably very wrong thing is that Q holds and decides to like fuck around with the Enterprise crew, and is like, knows that maybe he sees something of like, or hears Data wanting to like embrace humanity more and reach to like that part of him or whatever, and he decides like, maybe let's sit down because you're an android and you're never going to be able to do that, but they're able to prove that he does have some kind of humanity. Yeah, so take that, Q. Yeah, I'm very prepared to be wrong.
That is, however, a very Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek answer.
Oh yeah, they're also on a new planet. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they do this in the holodeck. I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'm done. I did it.
All right. Well, we suggest you watch along with us, especially for this episode, because I very much think this is an episode everyone should watch. And join us next time for the next episode of Fully Functional, a TNG podcast.
Goodbye.